knows. He said no to it. I am back. No more dental pain, hopefully.
Yeah, thank God.
The dental dam finally worked out.
Finally, I can suck all the dick I need to pay for rent. I was really worried I was going to be homeless.
I thought it was just for fun because you had that stable job already.
Well, you know, if you do what you love, you're never actually working
a day in your life.
You know, and I love sucking dick. So I mean,
if you're trying to pay your rent, you should charge more than a nickel.
Hey, you know, like I said,
I got
do what
$20,
you love.
Nate.
It's to me, it's about quantity, not quality.
That's true, and I mean, it's really impressive how much you've shaved the time off of sucking a wiener in your mouth and pooping it out as fast as possible. You're down to 90 seconds. It's pretty good.
The old cornucopia is what I call that.
Yeah, the cornholeupia.
It's all good. So, So for anybody, I don't know. I have not listened to past podcasts, so I don't know.
We haven't been saying that. That your dick fell off or anything, or that you had a chili accident.
Well, ladies, it's still there. What is there to be there?
Yeah, we've matured since those days.
That's nice.
Or we just got bored with it.
That's true.
We just thought about you so little during the podcast.
We didn't even mention it.
We didn't try.
No one just went on. Yeah, no one even noticed. Like,
I'm just like, why do I have this extra track on recording? We don't need that.
It's weird.
There's only 4 of us.
We kept getting these reviews about how our sound quality has gone up because there's this annoying like clicking in the background, and just this awful noise.
I did have a friend who was like, man, when you're on there, it's a way better podcast. And I was like, you're just milking me on, Cal. Cal, that's you, buddy. Thank you.
He's like, man, is that what you call the
Cal
mirror?
Just suck his dick, and you'll get the same results.
Well, he was having to pay for the blowjob I just gave him, so there is a rule. You have to compliment me. I don't show up at your work calling you a fucking lazy piece of shit.
You're gonna compliment.
You show up at my corner, picking me up in your pickup truck. You give me a goddamn nice compliment. All right, gets the ass in the seat.
Just wash your dick. That's my only thing.
To me, that's common courtesy. I'm not gonna tongue bath it.
Yeah, so, I don't want no sweaty scrote fuzz going on.
I mean, if you're about to get your dick sucked, it's going to get washed anyway. So, I mean,
that to me sounds like Ray's like real life stuff. Like he has to tell Allison, she's like, no.
Well,
if you start now, it'll be clean while you're finished.
Pulled one too many gray pubes out of her mouth. Just stuck to the inside.
God,
so it's like a cat
Dusty
packing up an airball.
Pass. All right, let's get on to nerd on.
The older you get, your dick just becomes more pubes.
Get your nerd on. 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 Get your nerd on.
All right, here we are where we review what we've been doing this past week of nerdisms and nerd-ons and the shows, books, movies, video games that we have consumed. We'll start with Chuck.
Hi.
Whoa.
Oh, we're going to switch to me?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Chuck?
Yeah.
Nathan comes back for a week and just mixing shit up already.
I decide I'm a fucking stirred
No, I'm not ready because I'm never fucking ready. But I was sitting there, tried looking on WWE Network for a pay-per-view that WCW had back in 91. I never really finished it. I've rented it several times when Aardvark Video was open. But it was WCW.
It must not be that good if you never finished
no,
it.
I never remembered the finish. And then I remember listening to a podcast that Ric Flair was on talking about the controversy to it, blah, 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 whatever. But come to find out, it was WCW Japan Super Show back in 91 they had when WWE got all the video library from WCW and all the other companies. It's one of the events they never put on the network. So I found that out after trying to find it, typing in all the letters for it. So I was like, fuck. And then I just started watching some old WCW pay-per-views because I don't remember a lot of them. And some of them brought back some memories. I remember watching the first Super Brawl, just going doing that, just getting a little nostalgia on wrestling. Other than that, finally was happy with the Walmart here in Lake City, Florida.
Happy with the Walmart.
I was happy because finally got the fucking Marvel Legends Thanos Walmart exclusive figure. I was so excited for that.
Did you buy all of them?
I only bought the 2 that were there.
Smart man.
So all of them.
So yes, you did buy all of them.
No, they come in a case of
splitting
6.
semantics again.
No, they're packed to a case of 6. But when I went there, they only had the 2. I've seen YouTube videos, toy hunters. They're literally going Walmart to Walmart to Walmart, waiting for them to get the cases out.
Are
and
you
then
one of those
cases.
guys? Sir, excuse me. Can you check in the back?
When I was heavy into the pop stuff, I sure as fuck did that.
But
especially those Walgreens exclusives, because them motherfuckers don't play around.
yeah,
Whenever you go to pick up Axe body spray, you'd go check it out.
I will admit to going to a Target and having the item code number and saying,
Yep.
I've already checked your back stock. You have it in the back. Can you bring
it
me
out?
one out for
Yeah.
yeah. I should do that.
Motherfuckers.
I've done that before, and they still couldn't find the shit. I was mad.
Pump the brakes. I know what I want. Just fucking go get it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just
Be a
narrow-eyed
huge dick.
me, and he's like,
What was it?
I was,
was-
going on break.
it was a
I don't even work here anymore.
Transformers Universe Nemesis Prime back
Damn.
in 2003.
Fucking virgin.
But
Actually, I was on my second wife by then. Thank you.
That's what we said. Fucking virgin.
Did the Lord let you consummate the marriage by that time?
Yes.
but the
And he let me have the Nemesis Prime that I asked for from the
that's
Target.
the baby. But
should've just-
it's pretty much a repaint of the 2015 Thanos Build-A-Figure wave, but this one he comes with the more classic, the blue and the yellow, or the blue and the gold instead of the real dark metallic like Marvel Now look he has.
Yeah.
And he actually has the Infinity Gauntlet this time. It's a beautiful figure. I mean, some of the articulation is not the greatest, but it's
They usually aren't that great with those big figures, though.
Yeah,
well, the
that's
Hulk,
what I was about to say.
well, the Age of Ultron Hulk that was in that Thanos Build-A-Figure wave had good articulation, but it still has the Build-A-Figure articulation, so his legs, you're getting nothing really out of it.
Yeah.
But,
So, would you say that it made your dick wiggle?
yes. Yes.
How
very
much?
Wiggle Dick Chuck.
On a jalapeno scale,
was
how much
it
did your
wiggling
dick
or-
wiggle?
No.
Was
On
I
a
wiggling it?
halio penis scale.
Oh, okay.
That one is, I would say, because it made my day, so I'm going to go with 9.
9 wiggle.
Yes.
Jesus.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Dang,
So
man.
you were in the toy section at Walmart.
with a vibrating penis.
Yes.
Wiggling your penis at kids that walk by. Going, look at this toy. Wiggle, 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 wiggle 9 times.
This adult stole all my
Holding
Marvel
the
Legends
Thanos.
figures
Look at the 6-inch toys he's got.
and the 2-inch
Three
one.
of them.
But also, they
He didn't buy
just
all
now
of them, but he
started
bought
putting
all
out
the shelf.
Mono.
the Avengers Infinity War Marvel Legends set, which they only had, I think, the Songbird and one other from what I saw
There's
earlier
always
this week.
a fucking songbird.
I know, but
Bong
Why did they put
Songbird?
Songbird out again?
I don't know.
She's still out. It's not out again. They
Oh.
just never sold her.
Yeah. Okay, this is an old
Is that her
one.
power?
That
this
one
is a
and the
new-
Beetle from the
Yeah,
from
Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
The
But,
Blue Beetle.
Other than that,
different one.
The
but good try.
Beetle Bugs.
I discovered this week I ran into an issue with my
Paul
my over
McCartney.
obsessiveness. Audible is going to be a real issue with me.
Chuck spent his whole paycheck on Audible.
I
This week.
dropped $80 on books this week.
It's a huge financial sink.
Did you read all of them?
Yes, he did. I bet.
I'm on Wizard and Glass right now, the
Damn,
4th book of the Dark
son.
Tower series.
Damn.
Blame the pain, my man.
Listen to some books, man.
Yeah, and this book, I'm not a fan of this one.
No,
It's
it's one of my favorites.
Next,
Wizard and Glass.
Yeah.
I thought you said the drawing of 3 was, or that was you.
No,
Drawing at 3 is
Drawing
my
at 3
favorite.
is-
Wizard of the Glass are one of my favorites.
It's just the whole backstory with Suzanne. I'm just like, oh my god, really? It just keeps going and going,
It's the whole book.
except for the very beginning.
It's literally the whole book,
Yeah.
other than that beginning. So
you just hate the book.
so get into the story. It's not going back.
I have 9 hours left out of 27.
The next podcast, Chuck's going
So
to
you've
show
been
up.
waiting for it to change? Like this backstory's taking forever.
No, because they at one point it goes back to
Hell of a flashback.
yeah. I was like, oh my
So
god.
this 12-chapter flashback from the one chapter I read.
Well, you're not gonna like win through the keyhole because it's literally
Backstory?
They sit down and Roland's like, well, those Stark blasts are coming. Stark blasts are these Arctic winds that murder everybody, and they're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you a story, and that is it.
Because I know because they've Eddie
And that story is not about the Dark Tower at all.
not about anything from Roland.
No, not at all. But it's still really good.
Is that after the van hit or before?
The Wind Through the Keyhole was maybe 2013. It came out long after the series had ended.
But yeah, I mean, aside from this book, I'm just like, it's not flowing as well as the other three were, but it's still it's keeping me going. But I think Eddie Dean is probably my favorite character.
Eddie's pretty good.
I like Eddie a lot. Detta is good, but I like Eddie Dean more.
You're gonna see a shift in the writing with the next book because originally I think there was maybe a 15 year break between Wizard and Glass, which came out in the early 90s, and then Wolves of Kala, Song of Susanna, and the Dark Tower, which came out, which he wrote, I think, almost all at once after he was hit by a car.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a definite shift in his writing. It's good. It's just you're going to see a lot more tie-ins. You're going to the story gets really interesting. It just take it from someone who's read the series quite a couple times. Is just go with the flow, enjoy it. It may not be the exact thing that you want to hear out of the series, but I mean it gives you a lot of backstory. Because me personally, I love that whole court training thing from the original Gunslinger book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this is
Which was fine.
yeah, and this is more of it. Those characters, Cuthbert, all those guys, they're a big part of Roland's history and the spirit of the story. So enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Listen to the book again with
Um,
new ears.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep forwarding it because I think the next one I'll go after this is the one Mike has always talked about, the Rhaegar Chronicles.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
want to try and get into that, but you sent me a link. It was those and the prequel books,
Just
and I'm like,
Let me
ooh.
know. You can use my logins. I think but you can sign in through other people's logins and listen to books.
And just use their books.
Yeah.
If you download them to your device, you can just sign back into your original
Hopefully Audible's not
login.
listening. Audible, we didn't mean that.
Yeah, just log into your original
Yes, we
login,
did.
and then you can listen to everything on your device. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, because I would
What
log into
account
my
it's in.
dad's account. I downloaded a bunch of books and then signed into my account, and the books were still there.
Log into Mike's. Like that's how I did Game of Thrones. Is like I download all from his and then had him to listen to.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that also, but I'm like, I don't know, but I'm finding at 1.5 speed. I'm going through these books, and I'm like,
You go them pretty quick. You go through them pretty quick.
Chuck's going to show up next podcast wearing like a monocle, a fucking smoking jacket, and be using words we can't understand.
but no, it's like I didn't realize.
Listen to 320 books this week, chaps.
But no, I realized that I can.
Mike,
it's just the
watching TV
multitasking. While I'm
shows.
cutting, I can be listening to these books because if I was reading them, like actually physically in my hand, it would take me forever to do.
That's the same. It's the same reason. I can really enjoy a book because when I sit down and read, I feel like I'm wasting time. But if I can read and do other things, and to the point where I can still pay attention to the book. 'Cause if I find myself not paying attention to the book, I'll just shut it off.
Yeah,
Because it's not worth it, and you're losing the story anyway.
Yeah.
the only time I can really listen to an audiobook is if I'm either working in my woodshed or if I'm driving.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much
can't
what
do
it
it
is. It's
otherwise.
very monotonous task that. I mean, driving takes a lot of attention, but you can listen to something and drive at the same time.
But I'm enjoying it, and
I think people read and drive at the same time. It's very scary.
that. But it's one of the perks of having my new
What I
phone.
do.
So that's all I got.
All right, Mike, what's your nerd on?
Oh no, guys. No, I've got quite a few things actually. Number one, I've started playing Call of Duty World War II.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. I'm playing the single player campaign, obviously, because no internet. That's a pretty running theme. But it's really it still has some set pieces like the newer Call of Duty games, but it feels like a kind of a callback to the older ones. I will say, even on console, the motion capture and just the animations are beautiful. The game looks gorgeous.
Did they have a Normandy beach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. It wasn't as it wasn't like the big focus like the older Medal of Honor games, but
Yeah.
you do storm the beach, so it's
I mean, it's kind
like-
of one of those things you have to have in a
you
World
kind
War
of
II
have to
game.
do, especially if you're playing Eastern Theater. I mean, because
Mhm.
that's where it all, or Western Theater, that's where it all started.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. I mean, just playing the weapons as well. The old Garand and the Thompson; those are so much fun. Anybody who's a Call of Duty fan, I mean, it's a real solid one. Sledgehammer did it. Those are the guys who did the original Dead Space and some of the other Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
So Sledgehammer Games is a great company.
How do you compare it to the game you were most recently playing, the Wolfenstein?
It's not as fun, I would say. I mean, Wolfenstein, its bread and butter is the single player campaign. For Call
Yeah.
of Duty, it's the multiplayer side. While the game is fun, I can find myself. I can more easily put it down. Where Wolfenstein, I would find myself playing for a long time, long periods of time, and not wanting to quit.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell that. But the game mechanics are a lot of fun, and it's just fun to come back to, especially after being on such a long Assassin's Creed kick. It's nice to get back to first person shooters, especially one as established of Call of Duty. It's like the standard. It's the
Yeah,
McDonald's of shooters.
It's solid, and you know what you're going to get from it.
Just like my bowel movements.
Yeah.
The next thing, continuing my Ready Player One obsession, I ended up watching a really nice Rush documentary yesterday. Even for bands I'm not 100% interested in, music documentaries are in and of itself very interesting.
I enjoy them a lot.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that you can. The majority of what you get from a band is usually their stage presence, what they, their image, the image that they cultivate, and seeing a more candid side of them, especially guys as old as Rush. I mean, because these guys have been playing, as long as a little less than the Rolling Stones, and they've done incredibly complicated music, really technical stuff over the years, and they've almost, I think, constantly toured since like the early 1970s. And just, hearing about the evolution of their music, how much passion they put into it, they really care about it. And they're also huge nerds, which is pretty funny as well. They're also pretty funny. You're talking about like hanging out with Kiss, and just, I don't know. It's an interesting documentary. I'm coming to appreciate Rush more. Not
Rush
the
Limbaugh.
Not the monument.
not the
That's not
monument.
what we're talking about?
Rush
No.
Limbaugh.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay.
I was doing Alex,
Are we going
Alex
political now?
Jones and
Yeah.
Infowars.
I've been trying to get. I've been really trying to steer
trying
the
to
ship.
subvert us politically over the past 6 months.
The gay frogs. Anyway, but sorry, Rush.
I mean, overall, I think that getting away from their radio stuff is as hipsterish as that sounds. It's Rush is a pretty good band. I still have a problem with Geddy Lee's voice because it's just such a high register.
Absolutely.
You know,
I like the one B side, Tom Sawyer.
but I mean, their lyrics are pretty cool, you know, and they're huge, you know, potheads and alcoholics and stuff. So
mean guy.
today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride, not mean guys, it's mean pride.
Damn!
You
Look
would
at the
know-
fucking
yeah.
fan over
Yeah.
there.
Look at the brain on Almanac.
Yeah,
Look
you,
at the Rush brain on Mike.
you would know that if you appreciated Rush as much as me and Jason Segel and Paul Rudd's characters from I Love You Man.
That is very true.
Next thing, of course, is it's been
1 week.
an interesting week of everyone's favorite topic, hot toys.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Number one, I got my deluxe Hot Toy Spider-Man in, and it is
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous,
beautiful.
I've been a
Pretty
huge
nice.
fan of Spider-Man for a long time. You know, the original the 90s cartoon I loved.
Did you almost say the original cartoon, Mike?
I was going to say
God.
that.
Yeah, the 60s.
Not the 60s one.
The 60s one.
I
And
should be
70s one.
masturbating.
from
Those
someone
60s memes crack me up every time.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm
continue.
sorry.
Fucking finish, Ray.
someone who didn't really collect a lot of comics as a kid, Spider-Man was one comic I did collect. And I've always just, and I know everyone did it, when you're a kid, you pretend to be a superhero and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man was always my favorite. And I think it's because he's just so relatable. But, beyond that, the figure itself is pretty fucking cool. It comes with a lot of extras, a lot of different eyes, including the insta-kill eyes, which are really, I need to stop saying it's really cool. It's really cool. You also get a school jacket, a regular jacket, a head sculpt, the physics book that is readable.
Yeah.
The Mask.
Yeah, it's true. You get an entire VHS copy of Jim Carrey's movie The Mask. No, you don't get that.
The price right there.
God, somebody stop me with these amazing Spider-Man toys. But it's just a ton of stuff. You get extra web shooters, a mask, to actually hold, kind of like, every scene where he pulls the mask off and the Spider-Man has
Just
it in
like
his
in
hands.
the Spider-Man comic books.
Exactly. It's just this wadded up shitty mask they always have in their hands that is no way the same thing they wear on their head. But it comes with that. Headphones and a really cool stand so you could do some pretty badass, Spider-Man poses. I'm super excited about it. TJ and I were planning on doing some figure reviews in the future. So I would
Maybe
say
that'll be one.
Yeah, I know you're interested, so you could be looking forward to it.
Boom.
Next, and I'm not want to step on TJ's toes too much, but because he wants to talk about it too. But Hot Toys.
Why don't y'all talk about it together?
Yeah, I can
Segue
jump in
into
on
it.
this with you.
No, because this is my turn on.
Fine, you fuck.
Listen, you piece of shit. No, you can jump in. They teased a bunch of stuff for Infinity War, the movie, they being Hot Toys. They teased a Cap America, which I haven't seen yet, but they had a really nice, which nobody's getting here, 1/1 scale, $1,000 Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'll have to pass, but
Yeah, nah, dog.
God, that's
It looks
beautiful.
real cool. I mean, and it's really got to hurt your dick too when you jerk off with it
Yeah.
to get infinity juice.
Rub it all over that stone.
Yeah, then titty juice.
Titty residue.
Titty residue. The Iron Man and also the Thor, which they did a full reveal on.
Yep.
Oh my God.
This further proof because Chuck mentioned it. And
They went up for order too, didn't they?
They're
They
up
didn't
for
do a
order.
full
Yeah.
review. Reveal. They just put the motherfucker up eventually.
Yeah, they did. They have the new nanosuit Iron Man. He's got a lot of cool new constructs on his body because I guess the suit is made of nanomachines. So you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Yep.
But it's really cool. Everyone hates it, but I think it's really cool looking.
I think everyone hates the price of it.
No. I've seen multiple people say this is the ugliest Iron Man they've
people-
ever seen.
The
I've
design
seen-
of it, I don't think is great.
I think
I
it's
love the design.
And I guess it's from
I think
comics.
No, I know.
It's
sour
from comics?
grapes, a lot of it, because that suit is beautiful.
Yes.
The flat out just suit. There's aspects of it that I really like, but there's other aspects of it that I think are design wise really ugly.
Because the wings, I was reading a lot of comments on there, and they're like, "This is
The
based
nano
off."
boosters.
Yeah, it's from the comics, and they're like, "Obviously, these people never read the comics."
I mean,
They're
there are a lot of
collecting.
people don't.
Excuse me, bitch. This is from
Yeah.
Well, that's why the people saying that, like
Yeah.
the ones hating on the design, they're more going back to what the comics, Iron Man. with
I
it.
think a lot of it is price sticker shock, like that sour grapes. Like, well,
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $407 for it from Sideshow, and so
Hot Toys
I'm
has
gonna
been
just
slowly
piss
inching up
on
the
it.
price over the past 2 years. And, people are saying, "Oh, just don't buy them. Send them a message." And people don't do that. If you're gonna, if you want it, you're gonna get it.
If you like Iron Man, you're probably gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Mike,
Exactly.
you like Iron Man?
Yeah, and I'm getting it.
Oh, it's gorgeous. They hid the seams so well on the joints and everything. It's just a gorgeous figure.
It's a very natural, flowing, organic-looking suit, and that's one of the reasons I like it.
It is very organic looking. I think that's what I don't like about it as much.
That's actually what I like about it, Chuck.
So could that be one of the reasons for the higher price? Because it's a brand new mold,
Yeah.
brand new body style.
But at that point, though, I'm kind of pissed off because my Mark 46 was $360, and they were just going to repaint it for the Mark 47. So I'm kind of pissed that they didn't drop the price a little bit on both of those to kind of
I get that
accommodate
frustration,
it.
but I was just checking on that. So it is a different mold.
That's where the price increase is from a different mold and everything. I think they're still using the same Tony Stark head on it.
Okay.
I think so, because it's the kind of older, more mature-looking face that they use with the since Civil War.
Yeah, since 46.
Yeah, it's pretty solid one. The other figure, I think it looks gorgeous personally, and I'm getting it.
Looks gorgeous. It's not my type of Iron Man that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Ray. I like one that's more robotic.
Yeah,
not
I'm looking at it right now, and that's what I don't like about it is how organic it looks.
That's why I have my other ones.
Yeah, exactly. And you do have other ones, but yeah, looking at it, it is very sleek, and it's a little too sleek for me.
I think it's more Wakandan tech involved in that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's bad. It's just not for me.
No,
and I
it's
mean,
not mine.
Really, with as much as they're saying is going to change, or that they're implying, between a bunch of people dying and Thanos coming in and whipping ass, that there could be huge redesigns after this. They might even make characters. These characters could be dead. You never know.
Yeah.
It could be a badass Falcon
and how many
and a Black Panther.
How many Iron Men are there now currently that you could buy?
That you can buy?
They're hot toys. There's
there's
50-ish at least.
I would say 50 is pretty close.
I thought there was 32 from the Iron Man 2. Or 3, I mean.
Some ridiculous.
They didn't make all the armors.
They haven't made them yet.
They haven't made them all.
Okay.
So I think in actual figures, there's only about 20.
Okay.
So
this isn't.
No,
I've seen more than that.
50.
I don't think there's that many.
I think
there's a bunch. But either way, this isn't my favorite, but you can find one out there for you. I've seen some that Bones one.
Yeah,
that is not
Bones
a typical. That is not a typical Iron Man suit. I fucking love the hell out of that thing. The stealth suit. Don't you have a stealth suit, Mike?
I have the blue Mark III stealth suit.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful. It's not a typical Iron Man either. Mm-hmm. You have the War Machine. Of course, the War Machine.
I want to get the die-cast version because it's supposed to be a little bit taller and just I don't know the things I've seen on it.
Yeah,
just the comparisons between the two. I'm like,
but yeah, this
one.
I
don't want to.
This one is a
$400 for it. Either.
It looks very nice. It's just not my style.
Don't get me wrong. I wish I could stop buying it because I have a lot of them, but I just really enjoy the suit.
Do it then, man. You like these Iron Man?
Oh yeah, I'm getting it. No one's going to dissuade me. But the other one, and I'm kind of holding off on this just a little while, but and I'll let TJ talk more about this, but is the Infinity War Thor that they also released. It looks so cool.
That one,
Infinity War Thor looks really cool. It has a more Ultimates Thor look to it.
Well, they completely did the head sculpt, redid the head sculpt as well, and while the older Thor head sculpts look good,
sperm
these look so good. The new head sculpt.
They redid the head sculpt. They have replaceable arms because before you'd have to buy like one with the bare arms and one with the armor arms.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they improved the joint technology and like the seamless because it doesn't have the elbow joints showing in the arm either. It's got LED light up discs, and it's got
in the chest
piece and the vest
with like lightning
effects that you can attach
on it,
to it. They have a reflective paint that they put on the eye, so that I'm guessing it's going to be sort of like the Black Panther they revealed recently. You can kind of make the eye light up.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a production thing or what, but the eye looked quite bright.
Yeah,
but they said it was a reflective paint.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm pretty sure they just kind of doctored it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know actually how bright it's going to be, but overall. It looks cool. Like you said, it comes with the little like electrical things that it looks like electricity sizzling off of his metal power nipples he has on his front suit.
And then
his teats.
His thunder teats,
the new hammer he's got, which is called Stormbringer,
which is a fucking hammer axe.
Yeah, it's badass looking. And then they teased in one of the photos that they showed with it, the Teen Groot.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
And
I did see the Teen Groot one.
so Teen Groot looks pretty awesome
with
too.
his machine gun.
rocket. Yeah.
Mhm. So
I'm Groot.
I mean, I like the adult Groot that I have, but man, that Teen Groot looks pretty badass.
That adult Groot.
That
No,
movie's gonna.
I'm
that
looking at
movie
this
might
store
sway me
now.
a little bit.
And this Thor is
It's pretty epic, isn't it?
really
Yeah.
fucking cool.
It's so cool. I think I'm gonna get it. I'm just kind of waiting a little while to build back up the funds.
Mhm.
I mean, because I think both figures aren't launching until 14 months from now or something, supposedly. So
Yeah, I put a deposit on.
it's going
Thor.
to be a hot minute. I put a deposit on Iron Man, but not Thor.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I think that pretty much wraps up our Hot Toys talk.
All right. Is that
Well, I had one more, but
Oh, no,
I'll
go
do
ahead,
it on
go
my
ahead.
Nerd On.
Oh, well, I'm saying for me personally, we'll come back around to you.
Chuck, you have a question?
I stopped counting at 58 different Iron Man fucking hot toys.
Is that repaints?
That's just
and
each suit,
re-releases?
each suit. Yeah, I'm
Some
just
of
like,
them.
I'm done.
Yeah, they have made
And there were still more pages to go. I'm like,
a
I'm done.
lot.
well, let's segue over to TJ's Nerd On so he can finish that.
Okay. I still have
Mike
Nerd
still
Ons.
has some.
Oh, you still had stuff.
Yeah.
Mike's had a hell of a week, guys.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
You forgot his other grails, bro.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll make it quick because I'm boring everybody.
No, you're fine.
I know.
appreciate it,
I know.
Mike.
I look good. I'm just saying I'm boring people.
No.
Last night, I haven't done it in a while. I sat down and watched a movie. I haven't done that in a while, and I watched one of my favorites. Rewatched The Thing.
Oh, nice.
Great movie. Wilford Brimley, masterful performance.
I mean,
I'm gonna go ahead and
star
say
of the movie. I'm
Yeah.
surprised he
I'm
didn't
gonna
get top billing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Kurt Russell. It's a fucking dreamboat, man. He looked
Mhm.
good.
That feathery hair and that beard.
And of course, my second favorite person in that movie, and one of my favorite actors of all time, Keith David,
Yes.
was in it. And he's such a badass. I love Keith David. Him and last week, I forgot to even mention, I watched They Live.
Right,
Oh, man, I love
They Live is
so
badass.
good. It's always like 3:00 in the morning, so I forget I watched it.
That ass whooping scene.
That is by far, I feel, the best fight scene in any movie ever.
Because you know it was originally only supposed to be like maybe a minute long, and they were like, "No, we're going to choreograph a fight scene."
I heard
And-
they just started actually fighting.
Beating the
no,
shit
no,
out of
it
each
was,
other.
no, it was true choreographed. They choreographed that entire thing out for because I whenever I watch movies, I tend to pull up IMDb and start reading up as I watch it, and like I guess it was supposed to be just a small fight, but they choreographed for weeks that fight, and then that's what they filmed, and it was just those two guys. They sat down and they did all the choreograph themselves. That's why you get such a badass fight in that movie.
It is so good.
It's-
For anybody who hasn't seen it, They Live is a rough B movie. I'm going to go ahead and say it, but that is one of the best fight scenes.
But
Do
it's-
yourself
it's
a
so
favor.
it's
It's a
the
rough
movie-
B movie, but it's worth
There's a
watching.
lot
It's
of
such
charm.
a great
Yeah.
movie. I love that movie.
It's very charming. Like the dude's not the greatest actor, but you just like him. It's just like
I am here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That wasn't an impression. I played it directly from the movie. That's how bad it is.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, but overall, The Thing, some of the best makeup, some of the best puppetry work. It's truly
Agreed,
still
agreed.
to this day still creeps me the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
It is so gross.
Like whenever I'm watching a movie and somebody's like reaching their hands in somebody's chest to like pull something out,
I'm like,
don't fucking do that.
I'm like, bitch, you better get your hands chopped off. You know, which led to something that a book that I had read kind of brought this up, and it's actually true to an extent, but true evil really is the unknown. The idea that something can do anything beyond your understanding. And The Thing is kind of one of those things where, you know, like the scene where they go to flamethrower the guy on the gurney who chopped the fucking doc's hands off. You know, they roast the whole body and the head just kind of oozes off and becomes a spider.
oh yeah.
And it's just so gross and disgusting, and it's something that you as a normal human being can't comprehend. And I mean, I feel that kind of is true. You know, evil sometimes, like true, like demonic type evil is fear of the true unknown, the fact that they can do anything to you, I guess, or become anything. If you really think about that, you'll find it's true.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of people are scared of the dark is because
you don't know what's in it.
Scared of the ocean, you don't know what's underneath you or whatever else.
Yeah, the ocean is terrifying.
Yeah, thalassophobia, and I found another great subreddit, submechanophobia, which is like submerged man-made items. Really creepy. It really just unnerves me.
Speaking of, have you guys seen the picture of that Jason in that Minnesota lake?
Yes. Yeah, that was so
fucking
cool.
awesome.
To kind of fill that in, somebody commissioned a like life size, realistic looking like Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th statue and has dropped it in the middle of a fucking lake.
Well, apparently it's a hot spot that people actually scuba dive a lot. That's why so many people found it, because it's a very popular area where people go scuba dive. So you're just fucking diving under, and there goes Jason.
Yeah, so I think could see it through all the people shitting their pants in the water.
They'd be going like. I mean, down here in Florida, we have a lot of springs, like Itchtuckney Springs or whatever.
Yeah, imagine finding that in the middle of like Itchtuckney, like the caves at the bottom of the springs.
Just drop me a creature to last
like, just go and kill me now, because I'm too scared to move.
Yeah.
To wrap it up, though, and this is not so nerd related, but something that's really important to me. I was able to get a couple Grail items that I hadn't. I've been waiting for a while. You know, it's part of my everyday carry type philosophy. Specifically, Leatherman celebrating their 35-year anniversary, and they had signed, engravely signed, but original commemorative remakes of Tim Leatherman's original tool, the personal survival tool. It's very simple, but it's a product they haven't made in about 15 years. It's just a cool multi-tool. It means something to me. They only made 500, and I was lucky enough to get one. So
did it come with a display, like a stand?
It came in an engraved wooden box.
Nice. Does it look pretty nice to your plates of Obama that you keep next to it? And
that and my commemorative Star Trek pottery I got. Yeah,
nice.
It looks really good.
Your China hutch is going to look so good.
Yeah. Just the Gene Roddenberry communist theme look I've got going on is just really good. Nice. And one of my other favorite, I was actually able to trade for this, but it is a
deerskin
Jin's Onzo Monte Carlo knife. It's normally a $650 knife, which is unreal.
Cha-ching.
Never pay that much for a knife, but I had some older ones that I didn't use anymore. Guy was willing to do a trade. It has titanium scales. It literally a razor edge on it.
Pretty sharp, y'all.
And it's so hard to explain if you don't have it in your hand. But just the feel of it, the machine quality, and it's just a beautiful knife. It's got a sheep's foot blade, and I would say
it's sexy.
I would definitely call it a modern gentleman's knife. I'm not going to carry it as much as my other knives, because I have my Boker Lancer, which is one I got with Nate, which I love very much. It's a really cool, simple knife, but this is definitely a Grail knife that I will carry from time to time, and I'm really excited and proud to have it.
$600 knife, man! I'd be killing someone.
Yeah, he has like
gotta use it for something.
Yeah,
this knife better diffuse a bomb or something.
I'd walk around the interstate till like a wreck happens, and you can go like cut someone out. Yeah, don't worry, I got my trusty pocket knife.
My seatbelt works. No, I'm gonna cut it off. I needed to use this.
Fuck you! You know how much this knife costs? Goddamn it!
I need to justify this cost. But that's it for me. That's my nerd on.
TJ
had a Ray-sized nerd on this year.
All right. So this week, like I said earlier, is geeking out over new Infinity War stuff. But also, I got my Hoth Leia in this week,
and it looks awesome.
It's a dead on likeness. Yeah, it's a beautiful figure. I took some pictures with it, posted it on our Instagram.
Right next to your dick.
We are. What's our Instagram tag? Ray?
Nerds who get laid.
Yeah.
I know. I thought
Nerds
it was
who get laid. Instagram.
Hashtag Nerds who get laid.
Yeah.
The @ sign.
Oh, at sign,
Yeah,
which is
Nerd
shift
Ticket Lane.
2
Mhm.
for those who aren't familiar with the keyboard.
So yeah, it's but it's a beautiful figure.
Yeah, she is very-
I'm excited. That's completes one of the big three from the original trilogy that I
The
want to get.
incest Skywalker triangle.
Yeah, I haven't taken a picture of them making out yet, but that's down the road.
You should, and like Vader with his arms crossed in the background, like mid nod, like he's approving it.
Yes,
Yes.
We will concentrate the Force power beyond what anyone.
yeah, it's got to
ever
stay
imagined.
in the Skywalker.
Do you think if
genes.
they banged and had a baby, it'd have like super force powers?
Well, I think so, and it'd have 4 arms like General Grievous, so it could probably.
Or
It's
is that how
possible.
Jabba the Hutts are made? Like, is through incest Jedi sex?
That's a very good question, Nathan.
Guys, we need to get to the bottom of this. Listen, this podcast is over. We got some reading.
Formed him.
Yeah,
We
can
got
do
some research to do.
Serious research.
That's
I'll have to delve into the Rule 34, guys. Sorry.
Jabba's an
We have to find some
abomination.
Jedis to
Jedi.
bang.
Okay, and
That are related.
True.
The other thing I did this week is I've been working on my woodshed, and I finally
Slash murder hole.
Yeah, yes.
about 10 years ago, my sister and her husband gave me an airbrush, and it's been sitting.
What?
It's been sitting in a bag for
Just
about
waiting for so many family reunion T-shirts and vacation themes. Damn,
So many fairs
No.
just missed.
so
literally pit
it's been
mist.
sitting around, and I've been like hemming and hawing about getting a compressor and everything. So
or
finally,
a bellows.
I got
and
a compressor.
child.
I got a compressor at the end of last year. So I hooked it up this week, and I actually painted my dewback
Really?
that I have. I haven't put any
Well-
pictures up yet because I'm waiting. I was waiting for everything to dry and everything.
I'm sure your back looked pretty good, TJ.
Well, I know someone who could
All
use
Dewey
All
from,
Dewey.
So
definitely
from your
use it.
friends.
So you'd be doing shirts at Infinity Con now?
I maybe I don't
Airbrush
know.
caricatures. Come on,
We'll
man.
Another use for that?
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Death could get knocked out in like 15 minutes.
Everything's black.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Black
looks
airbrush
evil.
doesn't make it quicker.
No. I've been practicing for like 3 days trying to get this thing right. So, but anyway, that's what I've been working on. I mean, it's not like spectacular, but it's been a lot of nerdy type painting shit.
Yeah.
Practice.
That it?
That's all I got.
Ray?
All right. Well,
Matthew McConaughey.
I've been reading a lot of Captain Marvel, trying to get my ducks in a row for
Yeah.
the 3rd episode of N is for Nerd.
Yeah,
Oh, can you really do Captain for the sea?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Captain Marvel.
Why not
It's
Carmelo
also
Bing?
Carol Danvers, so it works either way.
Is that who Brie Larson is playing?
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Ooh, I want to talk to Brie Larson.
So it's
Yes.
specifically the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. I will go into a little bit of other Captain Marvels, but I've been reading a lot of this stuff, and it's been really good. I've
you
really
going
been
into-
enjoying it.
yeah, Nathan's unfamiliar
Huh?
with Captain Marvel, so
Are you going
he's
into
looking
Carol-
up some Captain Marvel stuff right now.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
going
fun.
into Carol Danvers' history on that one too?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
She got dumped by Tom, and she was super pissed about it.
There's
Yeah, it's kind of like that actually.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot
every
of shit
comic
to
book.
it. Yeah, it's one of those things that I want to be like, oh, well, this one's kind of complicated. They're all any character that's had any kind of history over like a couple of years ends up being really, really fucking convoluted and complicated.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is no exception. So, but I've been reading a lot of it. I've been really enjoying it. So,
Well, the advantage to the other two characters you've had have at least had their same name for the last 50 years.
yeah, they've been the same character. It hasn't been like 5 different people didn't be in it.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of research on Iceland the last week.
Yeah.
And it has been real nerdy,
Mhm.
making up my own pamphlets and stuff.
A new level of nerd.
Yeah, a different type of nerd.
And his own essay question test
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Still waiting on my results.
I
You
think I
didn't
got
pass.
an A, but I'm
Me and Allison, she wanted to go down to the Strawberry Festival down in Plant City, where they grow a lot of strawberries.
You know, Plant City sounds like it'd be a cool place.
It is not,
It's not.
a cool
It's
place
not.
at all.
Plant City, to me, that sounds like a big city, but
No.
but it's
It is
not
a very
small.
strawberries. That's what they've
Yeah.
got there. That's what they got going.
That's
for 'em.
what they get you in there with.
Yeah,
Strawberries.
the strawberries. Because
They got
everyone's
your
like,
ass to drive
well,
down
shit,
there.
I like strawberries.
That and Lottie.
But it was interesting. It was fine. It was a very, 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 for us compared to what we have here, a pretty big fair, essentially carnival type thing. So I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't what either of us were expecting. But since we were down there, whenever we go to different places, I like to check out what comic book stores are around. There is one called Missouri Comics that I really wanted to go to.
I think it's pronounced Missouri.
And it is absolutely huge. And it's supposed to have like just boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of back issues. But we had dinner reservations also that night, and we were not able to make it. So after dinner, we did get to go by a place called Read More Comics in Brandon, Florida, and it was a pretty cool little shop. The dude that was running the place, he said that he was about my age, but he said that he's been...
He's old.
Yeah.
He said he opened the shop...
Hello, Sonny.
He said he opened the shop when he was about 20, and he's been going since then. So
They had comics that long
I know. I
ago?
was about to
I
say.
got some Nickelodeons here.
Anyway, I picked up a #1 issue of Darkhawk.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Well,
I
shit, let me
did.
see it.
It's in the living room. I'll show it to you. So I was pretty excited about that. I got my #1 issue of Darkhawk. It looks like it's pretty good shape. And I picked up a Moon Knight because who wouldn't?
Fuck
You know?
Moon Knight.
Love Moon Knight. So Kingdom Death has been
Collecting dust.
collecting dust, but I haven't started on it yet. But TJ did bring some X-Men miniatures over from an X-Men game from the 90s that I used to have, might still have at my parents'. I haven't checked yet, but to kind of brush up because I haven't been painting for the last few months, I started doing some of those. I did some last week. I did the Beast and the Iceman,
They both look good.
and I did the Psylocke too. I think last week as well.
Very
But-
mannish.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I'm not happy with her, so I may do some more things to her, repaint her. We'll see.
Paint ain't gonna help that.
Yeah, the sculpt is pretty bad. The sculpt
You
on
need an
all of these are
X-Acto
pretty
knife.
bad. Well, I've got an X-Acto knife, but I'm not comfortable making her not as mannish.
Mm-mm.
But I also did a Nightcrawler and Gambit this week. I think
Oh,
those are
nice.
the only two that I've done this week, I believe. Oh, I started on Bishop, but I didn't get
You're
real
running
far.
out of so much blue.
I got two more heading into you.
I literally had to go buy extra blues
That's just
because there's so much blue going on.
yeah.
I've got a Shadow Cat coming in for you. I'll
Shadow
use some
Cat?
more of it.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
it's two
yeah,
tones of blue for that one.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And,
true. I probably have both of them now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and I also did a review and watched the first episode of Jessica Jones this week.
What'd you think?
I like Jessica Jones. This is definitely an episode. The first episode is like resetting or setting the status quo. This is what's going on with Jessica Jones. This is what
After
our
Defenders.
after Defenders. This is what she's dealing with. This is what all our friends are doing.
Is this the first? This is the first Marvel series after Defenders, right?
I think Punisher was after Defenders, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it doesn't
was,
really like tie in a
Yeah.
whole lot. It's kind of its own little thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is the first one of the Defenders that's after Defenders.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it hasn't gone into a lot of that, but there is I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'm not allowed to spoil anything on it yet. There is a great cameo in it. It's one of the least expected people I would ever expect to see, and I was really excited about it, about how dumb it was. So,
Okay.
and how dumb and good. So, but I enjoy it. Jessica Jones is my favorite of the Netflix Marvel series,
Yeah.
and it feels like more of the same. Which I'm completely okay with because I wanted more of it.
It's weird because I don't know if you guys know, but I write for Geeks Worldwide, and I do reviews of Ray's reviews. And I go in there and just review how much I hate his reviews.
That is something you would try to do.
Ray, what do you call your column over there?
I call it Ray.
Because I think
A ray of sunshine.
rave reviews, RAYVE, would be really good.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
I may have to see. I'll see what Casey says about that.
There you go.
Hopefully, it just says I don't
No.
care.
Why do you keep emailing me?
Do what you want, dude. Just leave me the hell alone.
It's your page. Do whatever you want, Ray. Stop asking for permission.
I don't know you.
Who are you? And how did you get in my house? And why is your boner on my shoulder?
But yeah, that's me. That's it for me.
All right. Well, for me, I had a lot of stuff. The biggest thing I've been nerding out is a
2 weeks.
dentist. So, I really have a new. No, I love and I hate surgery, dental surgery. I'm a fan of. Pulling it out of your mouth, not so much. With that,
Doesn't like it when they pull out your mouth.
No.
man, I want to stick it in. You guys know you do what you love. I'm just gonna repeat that all night. I bought Cuphead a couple of weeks ago. I bought it actually at the height of my dental pain, and automatically regretted it because it was not a game that you can sit back and relax and play.
It is frustrating.
It is a game that will make you just fucking hate the world. But now that I am in better health, it's a beautiful game. Everything was hand drawn and then digitally painted, so it has just a really cool feel to it.
While you're playing it, there's some guy at the other end like, oh god, like writing as fast as he can, drawing the scene.
Why did you do that?
It's very expensive. It's very expensive to have someone come draw this game that I play.
This guy is he's not doing any normal moves. You got to draw all this new shit.
Jeez, mister.
Stop thinking outside the box, man. My hand hurts.
But it's a good game. Yeah, Mike's came over and played it a few times with me. It has 2-player mode, which makes it it doesn't make it easier, but it makes it at least someone else to bear the load.
Yeah, because you can get people, you can revive people.
Yes,
but you have 3 hits and you lose them quickly.
And the game is literally built to be as hard as possible. It's one of the hardest games. Like that's how they're. But it's fun. I started a new Netflix show called Ugly Delicious.
I saw that.
Is it about you?
Yep, Ugly and Delicious, baby.
Only half of the show's about you, then.
Yeah, the ugly part. That's
exactly what I meant.
It's a documentary-based style about food, but man, it's done so well. It's beautifully shot, and it talks about food that doesn't necessarily dress up like pizza. The first episode is about pizza and goes from everything about like just the history of pizza, the pizza snobs of the world, all the way to Domino's, and just he talks to different people all around the world that make pizza. And the second one is about tacos.
Okay, I had wondered because I watched the preview and I didn't think I got anything about what this is actually about.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the preview. Someone just told me about it and said it was worth the watch, and I hit play and it was. It's a little slow moving. Like Christy hates it. Like to her, I like the way it's shot. So it's really beautifully shot. So I'm okay with the speed of it, but it can definitely. I can see it being boring to some people. And I'll watch one episode in probably 2 or 3 sittings because they're about an hour each or something like that. And
okay.
I'll hit play, watch it before I go to sleep, or if I'm at lunch, but it's good. I do suggest it. I did have my garden party last weekend. I don't know if you guys talked about it, but the best part of all that was the pressure washing because I got to borrow my brother's pressure washer, and man, that thing was legit. Like I had it on the 0 tip. It was actually taking chunks of my concrete out on my porch. I did not know it was that powerful. I was like, let me...
Marshall, put your hand under there.
Let me pressure wash my car.
Yeah. So now it's just a dick that I drew. Why do you always have to draw a dick when you clean stuff? Why didn't I do something like a sun or I love you?
It's the figure 8 of adulthood.
It is. Besides that, I finally got a pedal board for all my pedals and my guitar, and man, I am loving it. I'll tell you what.
All in one place.
It is nice to have it there. It was one of those. Well, I also bought a bunch of new pedals too. I've spent a dumb amount of money on pedals in the last couple of weeks. But I got a new Friedman overdrive pedal. I got my Digitech Whammy and new tremolo pedal and a bunch of other stuff. And I was like, man, I need to get a pedal board. And it's one of those expenses that I don't want to spend $200 on.
It's expensive, and it's like all it does is hold things.
It just powers the pedals.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what, having them there, all I want, it's so nice.
So you wait until you're high on painkillers before you ordered it.
Then it's justified. I don't remember doing it. It shows up.
I'm sorry,
I got to keep it now.
Yeah. Speaking of the painkillers, I will say the biggest nerd on was doing laughing gas this week. If you've never done laughing gas, I highly suggest dental surgery. It was a blast. And besides that, probably like my drag race. I've been watching that a lot with Christy. They're doing Superstars, and this week's episode got me
It took
pissed.
me a second to realize what you were talking about. I thought y'all were actually talking drag racing.
No,
Drag race, yeah.
I can't imagine Christy watching funny cars. But then I realized what he was saying.
No, RuPaul's Drag
She
Race
loves
All
John
Stars.
Force. It's her favorite.
This week episode, for all you guys, I know that this is probably the biggest viewership. Just pissed me off. I'll just have to say what happened to Ben was goddamn crazy. But we won't go into it anymore because nobody else
Spoilers.
here gives.
Yeah,
Shut
for
up.
real.
Well, it came on Friday. So
If you get deeper into that, then I have to go into the challenge, and then the podcast is over.
Yeah. So with that, this is the podcast. I think we're done.
Right?
This has been over. So thanks for listening. Next week we'll bring you the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's with the news. You're gonna read the news now. Jimmy Ray, he's with the news. Hey Ray, what type of news you got tonight? Well, I hope it's good, 'cause it's Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel.
All right, guys. So let's jump into this news. Kevin Smith was hospitalized this week.
You know what? God bless him for coming through, man.
Yeah, for real. He had a massive heart attack.
Yes, the
That is-
Widowmaker.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
telling
not that you don't call something
The Widowmaker.
the Widowmaker if it's not serious.
It's actually what killed his dad.
Really, I did not know that.
So I
Yeah.
read. I was on a. I mean, you guys know that Kevin Smith, but I read a couple of his biographies or whatever they call. And the last one I read, what fucking scared me to my core because he talks about. I think it was either his 40th birthday or maybe his dad's or something like. Or 50. But anyway, they go out to eat and they have a great night and they go back and his dad wakes up screaming in the middle of the night having a heart attack and died screaming.
Wow.
Just like apparently it was one of the most painful things. Like just like you just wake up and it shook me to the core because that one of my biggest fears is having a heart attack. Being a big guy all my life, fucking scared to death of it. But anyway, so reading that and knowing how impactful that was on him, and then hearing the news that he had a heart attack, but then like he did a video and he talked about it. And he's like, it was complete opposite. Like he felt sick, he was like sweaty, he threw up some bile, and he thought he had food poisoning. He was like laying on the couch. He's like, I just don't feel good. I'm gonna lay down for a bit, and he kept like getting dizzy, and finally he was like, all right, called the hospital, and the paramedics kept spraying stuff in his mouth, and the thing he was worried about, they kept trying to lift his shirt up. He's like, no, man, no, you're not lifting my fucking shirt up. And he finally heard someone in the back say, yeah, I think he's having a heart attack. He's like, oh shit.
Let me lift my shirt right up.
No, he still wouldn't because like he goes to the hospital, and it's pretty funny story, son. Because like they get there, he's like, all right, man, like pull down your pants because to clear the artery, they go through your nuts.
Yeah.
They go up there, and he's like, whoa, no, man, you're not pulling my pants down. And he's having a heart attack the whole time.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not in pain. I was breathing. I was just having a hard time taking deep breaths. And he's like, he's haggling with the dude and convinces the guy to let him shave himself. So he goes, and then they finally get in there, and the dude's like, "Why does he still not have his underwear off?" And he's like, "No, you got to understand." Like, and they finally knock him out, and like the whole time he just was worried about seeing his little dick and his fucking fat guy. But anyway, like
it's a problem all of us have.
Yeah, but fucking had a goddamn heart attack. But by the next day was on Twitter snapping pictures.
Yeah,
modern medicine, man, it's fucking crazy. But I was devastated. I was like, God, if he would have died, man,
that would have been horrible.
That was scary for me as well. My dad had the same thing happen to him, like not on stage or anything like that, obviously, but yeah, he had the Widowmaker heart attack. He didn't die from it, obviously, but he had the same thing. They had to go through his groin, go up to it, and it's like it's a little wake up call for me too, being where I'm at in my life, and it's like okay, well, I'm eating the salads now for. No.
The funniest thing is he's like, well, I lost 85 pounds. Yeah, I mean, that's great, but you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, all right, true. But yeah, so good to see he's still here, man.
Yeah. We wish him well on his recovery.
He's only 47?
Yeah. He's
shit.
That's only like 6 years older than I am.
Yeah. Mark Hamill is finally going to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Congratulations, Mr. Hamill.
Time.
Who's paying for it? See, I don't really care about the stars that much because they have to pay a lot of money. They usually have to pay it for themselves or someone donates the money. Like, so like they don't just give you that star. Like, someone has to raise, I think, like $100,000 or something ridiculous. So a lot of stars pay for it for themselves, or they have friends that donate, which is great. I love Mark Hamill. I'm not not trying to knock him getting a star, but they didn't fucking give it to him. Someone paid.
It probably has to go through a committee and stuff too. I can't just go raise $100,000 and.
But I think
Ray gets a star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You just got to probably have a SAG card.
All 5 of us do it. We could get all 5 of us on there.
5 of them. $100,000 split 5 ways, guys.
Only $20,000
to get Ray.
To get me on the.
No, to get because the Three Stooges all did theirs as 1 star.
Yeah, we'll just put our dicks in there.
Yeah,
there'll be plenty of room.
Plenty room
to sign our names.
We could get an actual celebrity to buy the other 3/4 of the star that's there.
There you go. Mm-hmm. We'll smash our heads into it.
Yeah.
All right, we got a trailer of Fahrenheit 451, the HBO show that's going to have Michael B. Jordan in it and Michael Shannon.
You know, I don't really like Michael B. Jordan that much.
Really? I really enjoyed him in Black Panther.
I didn't think he was bad, but I didn't think he was great either.
You didn't like Creed either?
You know, I did like Creed. Okay, I take it back. I apologize. I just, maybe it was in his, maybe it's just the way he acted in Black Panther. I didn't like him.
Oh, see, I really liked him in that, surprisingly.
He wasn't bad.
He was
one of the better MCU villains.
You know what it could have been? It could have been just like the character he portrayed. I just didn't like that character. I hated that overly ignorant, because the stuff he was doing was very ignorant. It didn't make sense. Like I know he thought he had a reason. We're about to get sidetracked, so we'll move past. Let's talk about Fahrenheit
451. Yeah. What'd y'all think of the trailer of it? Because that was another one of those. There's a few books that in school I was required to read, and I was like, God damn it, I hate these. I hate reading fucking books. I hate reading stuff people tell me to read. Mm-hmm. But I read this one, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep. And I didn't like the book that much.
Oh, really? Okay. But how does this? I think it's supposed to be a mini series. How's this look for y'all?
Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both solid actors. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's done other stuff, and Michael Shannon's resume speaks for itself. So
you're probably going to see a lot more of this revival of Orwellian type themes with the current, I think, climate in America right now as far as politics go, because a lot of this stuff is very subversive as far as the status quo and Big Brother and all that.
Yeah. Looks shot very well.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an Animal Farm and an 84 coming down the road as well.
But would they call it 1984 anymore? Would they call it 2084?
Probably 20. Probably
they just call it 84. Yeah, just drop the.
We got an announcement from Neil Gaiman that there's this new SandMan world, like SandMan universe, that they're going to be launching under Vertigo. It's going to include. He's going to be writing a few of them. I know that Cy Spurrier is going to be writing a few, but there's going to be things like the Book of Magic's going to be involved in it. Lucifer. Let's see what else.
I need to read SandMan.
SandMan is. I haven't read all of it yet. I'm still working my way through it. I read the first graphic novel, and it is really good. And the first one is oh god, I forget Max. What's the guy's name?
Keith.
What is his name? Sam Keith.
Sam Keith
does a lot of art in the first few issues of it.
Yeah,
and of course, I know you love him. I love him too. But
is it his usual style, or is he go with a different?
It's weird. It's not his usual style.
The pictures I've seen, it looks pretty much like his style.
See, with his style, I feel like his proportions are all weird, but like on purpose, because people give Rob Liefeld jabs about his proportions being weird. But for his stuff, it's like he doesn't know better. Sam Keith does it on purpose. Yeah. So some of that's there, but he doesn't have the big hulking, weird-looking figures, because when he did Wolverine, it was the same kind of thing.
Yeah, that he did for the Max.
I think it was the way, I guess, the Sandman himself, because doesn't he have big black hair? And
yes, absolutely. That stuff's there.
Definitely
the wispiness of it. Yeah, very distorted. Yes. Which I really appreciate, but I don't remember who came in afterwards, but the stuff afterwards is just as good. And it's a strong story.
I know people it's one of the you see it on top books.
Oh yeah,
just novels, not even ones that'll have other books, and then that they throw in that graphic novel because it's so powerful.
I definitely like. Someone was asking on one of the groups I'm in Facebook, what's a graphic novel you'd give to your wife or girlfriend to get them into comics? And surprisingly, a ton of people were putting SandMan. So I think it's one of those things, even for people who don't like comic books, because it's not a superhero comic book. But this is going to be launching in August. And I think Gaiman's going to launch it off, and then we're going to have some other stuff in that world. It's going to be a Vertigo title, so it should be pretty cool.
Nice.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is the current writer of Black Panther, is going to be writing Captain America. I'm not sure if he's going to be doing the Steve Rogers Captain America, because it was also announced that Peggy Carter is going to take over the mantle of Captain America in the comics. So we'll see.
That was an alternate universe thing.
Huh?
I thought that was a side universe.
Maybe. I didn't get to look into that part a lot, but I know the Ta-Nehisi Coates thing is a pretty big deal. He was a legit. I mean, he still is a legit author before he took over the Black Panther stuff. So I'm not sure if he's going to be sticking on Black Panther, but people have been loving what he's doing with it. I've read a little bit of it. It's very in depth. It's a lot deeper than most superhero stories go. But I have absolutely enjoyed it. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting in seeing him on another character, and such a high profile character like Captain America these days. So
yeah,
because when he was put on Black Panther wasn't as big as Black Panther is now. So
stock's going up from that character for some reason. I don't know why. On it.
Lore Season 2 got greenlit from Amazon. Did any of y'all end up watching Lore?
I never watched it.
I watched a couple of episodes. I haven't watched the whole series.
Okay. I finished it off.
It was pretty good.
It was really low budget, but it was well done low budget stuff.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, I don't know, like...
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries, Rescue 911, that kind of stuff back during the 90s. Not as... Like, the acting was good.
I started the first episode, but I just couldn't get into it.
Right on.
But I don't think it was bad. I just might not have been in the right mindset at the time.
Maybe.
Yeah, I've caught myself back up on the podcast. I kind of dropped off in November, and so I had about 8 episodes to catch up on.
Yeah. Wreck-It Ralph trailer. We got a new trailer for this. This is coming out in Thanksgiving.
Ralph breaks the internet.
You know,
he does.
I love the first movie, so I mean, I'm excited.
I LOL'd at some of the trailer stuff.
Yeah. So. You know, watching it with you guys, I enjoyed it a lot better.
Yeah. Because normally I don't, you know me, I don't care about this stuff. But good Lord, I laughed at that.
Well, I will say, like I said, the actual Wreck-It Ralph, the first movie was enjoyable. Like, it was really well done. John C. Reilly was great. Sarah Silverman,
which I do like him.
Her character, it worked. It was a fun, charming movie. And DreamWorks, they're hit or miss on theirs. You know, like Pixar.
That's Disney, isn't it?
I could, you know, I think you are right.
Disney.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's Disney's own thing.
Oh, it's not a Pixar thing?
No.
Oh, okay, weird.
But it's got, man, I don't know. I love it. This looks interesting, them going into the internet and exploring that. It's just some of the jokes, it's all jokes you've seen before, like him walking through the internet. It literally, all I could think of was Dave Chappelle walking through the internet, like, you know, like instead of like penis pills, it was just like spam and him going, look at this.
It's less real. No, it's like he was walking on Facebook instead of walking on the real internet.
Yeah. It was very, the jokes were just a lot of recycled stuff, but they did work. And I will say the pancake thing were just,
that was the best part
kind
of the trailer.
The parody of modern like casual games is pretty funny.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig is in talks to be in Wonder Woman 2 and to play Cheetah. I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, that's a interesting pick.
I could see her being the character, the attitude. I guess it's more the action.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, something about Kristen Wiig, she has that, she could be a giant mean bitch and could probably be very evil acting. So my thing is more seeing her go to the full on, fight scenes. That's the part I don't see. I can definitely see her as a character.
I don't know.
Kristen Wiig.
I don't know, because Cheetah's pretty fucking brutal.
I honestly, I think she can I think she can go there, man. I really do.
I hope so. I mean,
she has such a dry sense of humor, and I can just see her going dark with it and being that angry. And she's done more serious roles. Like
I can see the dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
see her being a dark, angry person, like because she's done some like indie movies like that.
I'm just seeing her in like Masterminds.
If you think
the Ghostbusters, and then there was this movie that Katie loves. It's her and this other guy are trying. They're both like teachers. And they're trying to get their sex life ramped up or something. Katie loves it. I'm just like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
So she's pretty much a comedian going to play Cheetah.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, people said the same thing about Michael Keaton playing Batman.
Very
absolutely.
Yeah, never judged
Heath
by
Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. I mean, he wasn't really a comedian, but, you know, he's
She
Australian,
just has
so
never
it's the same
struck
thing.
me as a good actress. So,
Well, like I said, she's done some more indie movies that got really good reviews. But to me, this isn't, but you want someone that can be well balanced. Yeah. I don't know. When I heard it, I was like, that's very weird, but it kind of makes sense. I don't know why. I was like, okay, I can see it going there if it happens. I mean,
we'll see. She's just in talks right now.
Yeah. Interesting. They're going Cheetah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
think
there's
that's
not
the next place to go.
There's not too many Wonder Woman villains out there. I mean, there's Cersei.
Yeah.
But that's kind of going to the deep end of the DC universe, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. So Quentin Tarantino is working on that new film that has it doesn't really have to do with Charles Manson. It's just in that time period. He's officially titled it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Brad Pitt has joined Leo DiCaprio in the film.
Yeah, they play the neighbors of Sharon Tate, the person who's going to get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
how can you not be
right on the wall? Sounds
that?
Like it's going to be pretty badass.
I mean, it's
three. I mean, Tarantino and DiCaprio teamed up to do some pretty good stuff, and
Brad Pitt.
And Brad Pitt as well. It has as well with Inglourious Bastards. Yeah,
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. To me, it sounds like a home run. Tarantino does pretty quality work. I mean, even this, I didn't. What was it? The Hateful Eight. I didn't love the Hateful Eight, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I thought that was one of his weakers.
It was.
It wasn't horrible.
It was just vanilla.
But even that was an entertaining movie. So, and I think this will, be that or better.
Yeah.
I'd hate if it gets worse. That will suck. Like I'm hoping that Tarantino can keep knocking out some good ones. He doesn't sham out a whole bunch of crap.
No.
Yeah, he's usually pretty consistent. So, Chris Hemsworth is in talks to be in the Men in Black reboot sequel thing they're doing. But they're talking to Hemsworth about that. So,
well, he may need some work after Infinity War. He may not. We'll see.
We will see. Fox has announced I feel like this one just really went under the radar because it's Fox announcing a new movie. But maybe being bought out already. But they've announced a Silver Surfer film being written by Brian K. Vaughan, who is the writer of Saga and Why the Last Man. And he's done a lot of TV stuff, and he might have done a few film things. I know he's done a lot of TV stuff. But it's weird to me that they're announced. I mean,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this stuff a lot of times just gets announced to like bolster their whatever.
Maybe to see what sticks and see if they can get investors and
you also got to think
people attached.
They have to keep acting
like an actual business.
Yeah, because if the stuff falls through, you still have to have a game plan. I mean, these movies still probably can and will happen unless
on the other side too. Fox has announced this, but Disney also announced like 6 open dates with no titles attached to it, which I don't know if you have that in the news or not.
Yeah, they announced 6 ones. They do this usually before they announce things, like a little bit before. But yeah, they've announced 6 extra titles and the dates attached to those. So hopefully soon-ish we'll see what's actually attached to some of those. Yeah. Because up until, I think, Avengers 4, we don't have anything scheduled after that, do we?
There's Captain Marvel.
4.
Oh,
because
Captain Marvel come before or after that?
Yeah, Captain Marvel comes before 4.
Guardians
3
maybe
comes after that.
Yep, that's what
Black Panther 2.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a few little things, but not a ton.
Mm-mm.
And that's supposed to be in 2019.
Yeah.
So I think they had to 2020 like prepared, and then I mean they've got it. They just hadn't announced it yet.
But why would Fox make a plan for a movie when they?
Well, like Nathan said,
has
they
the
have
sale
to,
gone through yet?
Also,
no, it hasn't been
the
finalized?
or not the
Okay.
FCC, but whoever it is,
has to finalize
the
it.
government could say, "Nah, dog, you can't do that." you know.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's why they have to keep going on with business as usual, like Nathan was saying. So, Jim McChan was cast in Captain Marvel as the Kree spy Minerva.
Nice,
which is pretty exciting because the Captain Marvel movie is actually going to be set in the 90s, so it'll be pre almost everything in the Marvel universe. So Gemma, I don't know her from anything. She's been on AMC's Humans, which I have not watched.
What was her full name?
Gemma Chan.
Okay.
She voiced a character in Transformers: The Last Night, and and that's basically all I really have on her. So I don't know who she is, but that's interesting. That's an interesting character to be thrown in there. I'm excited about that. So
why are they putting it in the 90s? Is that
it's probably so when she pops up in like
she's
Infinity
been around
or Avengers 4, then it's not a big thing.
Yeah. They have to establish
20
her.
years later. That's why I'm wondering.
She's probably going
in space.
Be in space and come back. Kind of like the Guardians, because Guardians 2 is actually set in 2014.
Okay.
Is the date on it. So there's a 2-year difference between, 4-year difference between where they're at and where they're going.
Nice.
Well, and they also show her in like a more typical Kree uniform on set, which could be for CGI effects, but I think it's actually her.
Yeah, I think it's
thing.
the Kree thing.
Chris McKay, the director of the Batman, Lego Batman, is being looked at to direct Dungeons and Dragons in 2021.
Okay.
They're looking at kind of making a whole thing out of that. Have a bunch of little dungeons and a few dragons movies. So
this gonna be a Lego Dungeons and Dragons?
No. This is just the guy that did the Dungeons and Dragons.
He's got a great sense of humor. He's got a good timing and everything. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's something where some guys are kind of playing and it shows like their imaginations or whatever going into it. I think that'd be kind of fun.
This is going to be by Paramount, so we'll see what actually comes of that. That would be interesting. And I think this was one of the big things this week. Avengers Infinity War has actually been moved. The date got moved up to April 27th.
Yay.
So from May 5th to April 27th, it got moved up 1 week.
Yeah.
I
think it's to coincide all the worldwide dates.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one thing that people are saying this will be normally these movies come out a little bit early overseas and then they drop in America. This looks like it's to coincide all of that, and it kind of gives a little bit of breathing room to Solo, which comes out later in the month. So I don't know what that actually means.
That to me makes more sense. Is that they moved it up so it gives it a little bit to taper off, so Solo can have a bigger impact,
and it also gives them another week over Deadpool too.
Also, is that Easter weekend? I know Easter's kind of moved around weird.
I never know when Easter is.
Yeah,
I just couldn't tell you. But that's interesting. There was a fun little back and forth on Twitter. I don't know if y'all saw it between Marvel Studios and our Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
where they announced or they said something about it, and Robert Downey said, "Hey, what if we did this earlier?" And they just kind of went back and forth. And they're like, "For you, Mr. Stark, anything." And then they announced we're releasing it a week early.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Kind of fun.
Oh, it was fun. It was definitely a fun little thing. It was funny to see how many people actually thought that like that happened over Twitter, and Robert Downey Jr. was able to convince Marvel Studios.
He's got that kind of pull.
Yeah, he's got that kind of pull. Guys, come on, get real.
Go to Ted Disney and go, hey guys.
I'm just going to text them real quick. They're going to move that date up.
Yeah.
But it was fun. So I'm excited about that. I think everyone's been pretty excited. So
yeah.
Nice.
All right. Y'all want to do some quick questions real quick?
Did everybody see Stan Lee's message he posted?
I did see that.
Yes.
It was really sweet. If you get a chance, just look up. Stan Lee posted a video.
He posts them pretty often.
But this one's here lately with him getting over the pneumonia, and
he's been
he seems
down.
a little sad. and he talks about missing the fans, and so it's just a real sweet video. I highly suggest checking it out because just him sitting on the most 90s couch, feathered couch.
Yep.
Looks like he's living in like a trailer park. And he's like, I miss you, spider friends. And his Excelsior broke my heart. He's like,
Yeah.
I hope to see you all soon. Excelsior.
Yeah.
And you're saying, fucking, I want to go hang out with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And get some handies from the maids and drink some beers. But check it out. It's online. It's worth watching.
Yeah, we also we wish him well, and hope he's on the mend because that can be pretty rough. So, all right, let's do a couple of quick questions, then we'll taper it
Wrap
off,
this
guys.
sucker up.
All right, guys and girls, this is the segment of the podcast where we answer your questions.
Your questions direct from the audience.
The questions that are on your mind.
Mailed in.
I'm surprised you people still buy stamps and do this shit.
I am too.
Stamps.com. You can
That's true.
You can
That's true.
save tons of
Stamps.com.
money.
Yeah.
So Allison asks, fuck, marry, kill, Kelly, Phyllis, Jan.
Great question, Allison. Thank you for
Allison.
writing in. I'm sure you're a long-time listener, first-time caller.
So-
Obviously, I would kill Phyllis, fuck Jan, and marry Kelly.
No, I have to
Shit,
disagree.
you're
I want the crazy Jan. Who's marrying Phyllis here? Come on, let's go ahead.
I'm not marrying Phyllis.
I'm gonna marry Phyllis.
Phyllis is going to be the wild ride of that bunch.
I don't know.
Let's be honest.
Jan's a crazy bitch.
No.
I say kill Jan,
Kill
fuck
Jan.
Kelly, and marry Phyllis.
No.
I don't know.
Bye, Kelly. Marrying Phyllis.
Wait, what was yours?
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
Kill
Kelly.
Yeah, you're dead. Marry Phyllis because Bob's always happy around her.
She's doing something
already
right.
happy.
She's doing something
I'm
right.
telling you. That
So I'm going to marry her.
Phyllis is going to be the crazy. Phyllis is going
Phyllis
to rock your
goes to the
world.
bar and flirts to get you to come fight. She flirts with her guys to get Bob to fight them. Okay, like
But
that's
guys,
Phyllis is
there's
gonna-
no good answer here. There's no good marriage
Jan's
here.
gonna fuck Jan.
There's no good marriage material
No.
in any of these. But Phyllis is going to take you to the restroom.
all Kelly ever wants.
Yeah.
Kelly just wants someone to give her all the attention. If you can give her the attention,
I don't know if I have that much attention, though.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
That spicy little Italian thing. Or spicy little Indian thing.
Oh, you want the cookie? You want the-
And Jan, man, that's
No,
just
Jan is
that's
out
just
no
murder.
matter what.
That's just kill her right off.
Because if you fuck Jan,
I'm fucking Jan.
she's going to kill you.
Yeah, it's like a Black Widow.
We're gonna-
Praying
praying mantis.
We're gonna
Yeah.
set up the video
She's going to
camera.
eat your head, then eat your head.
Yeah.
All right, so Brian Marshall asks, what are some of your favorite comic book series outside of Marvel and DC? Two of mine are Sex Criminals, which I really enjoy, and The Walking Dead.
I like the ones where I'm at the gym working out.
You've been have you been reading much more of Black Science?
No, I haven't read the comic in a long time.
Oh, okay.
No.
I did love Black Science. It was probably one of the. I stayed up on it for a good couple issues before I finally fell off. But I mean, that's been 2 years now.
Saga. If you're not reading Saga, I don't know what you're actually reading these days. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, both universe and the ongoing, I think are incredible.
Yeah.
Transformers.
Transformers from IDW is great.
And there's a series that I read for a while, and I need to get back on it. It's called Atomic Robo.
Mhm.
It's kind of fun.
Never read that one.
It's this robot that was made by Nikola Tesla, and he works for the United States government, like going to like wars and stuff like that, and he constantly upgrades himself and everything, but he's sentient. It's a pretty fun and he's got this team of scientists and handlers that kind of work with him. It's just a fun kind of comic.
I like the idea.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. And it goes through different periods of history too. Like he has different series, and like one series will go through like World War II, and another one will go through another conflict or something like that. So it's fun.
I would also say Lady Mechanica is one I really enjoyed. The artwork on it is incredible.
Yeah.
Chuck, you got anything?
I haven't read a comic in a while,
I
man.
know, you've been a while. All right, just call me Batista off of Instagram asks, what franchise deserves a reboot more? Transformers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Which collection of movies are worse?
I'd say Transformers are worse.
Transformers is worse
I think
because
Ninja
there's
Turtles-
more of them.
Well, Ninja Turtles had a couple of okay runs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never
I'll say
liked the
this
Transformers
about
movie.
the second Ninja Turtles movie. It was actually kind of fun.
I still
Yes.
need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't been able to stomach the whole first one of the
I
the
did
current,
watch the first
Ninja
one. It
Turtle
was
movies.
bad.
but the second one's kind of fun. I mean, with Bebop and Rocksteady in it.
Oh, those. I was like, wait, the second Ninja Turtle movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
Secret of the Ooze was good, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the new one.
the
Bay
current ones.
the Bay one.
Was
yeah,
it Dark
okay.
Shadows? Or-
Because
Out of the Shadows.
I mean, if you're going to
Oh, is Out of
reboot
the
it,
Shadows the second one?
yeah,
What was the first one called? I don't
just
even know.
Teenage Mutant
Oh, I
Ninja
thought
Turtles.
it had a tagline too or something.
No,
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show that was just recently on Nickelodeon was excellent.
yeah, the shows have been good.
Oh, yeah, the show was
Yeah.
actually really good.
Especially Transformers and Ninja Turtles. The shows
Yeah.
have been good.
Yeah.
It's
The live action.
The live action stuff
I think
has been
Transformers.
kind of lackluster, but Transformers needs a reboot, and
Bad.
thankfully they're getting it.
Yep.
Hopefully after Bumblebee.
I thought they
Apparently,
said it was
Bumblebee
rebooted.
had mixed messages, but it's after Bumblebee that they're Hasbro revealed it's after Bumblebee that they're getting
Yeah.
an actual
Yes.
reboot.
They got
So-
one more movie, then they're rebooting.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Hey,
You never know when M-Bay is going to come in and cause some bayhem.
if dude's making the studio $1 billion a movie. I can't see him not doing it. So
yeah. They
I mean-
they offer him that big old paycheck. Why not come back one more
yeah,
time?
exactly.
All right, so over on the Instagram, or I'm sorry, over on the tweeters, we've got Mr.
like a
KC. Huh?
nothing.
We got Mr. KC asking, which one of you is going to bite the bullet and pay the $930 for the Hot Toys Infinity Gauntlet?
Not this
Not
guy.
me.
It's
No.
absolutely going to be Chuck.
No.
Chuck's
I'll-
going to bite the bullet.
I'll get the
on it.
Marvel Legends one, thank you,
Like
for
the
$100 one?
$100,
Yeah.
and I'll be just as happy with that. Because
Like I-
it'll do the same thing that the Hot Toys one will do.
That'll
for a
do
tenth
more.
of the price.
That'll do more. The Marvel Legends will do more.
Yeah, you can actually put it on.
Yeah, and move the fingers and all that
It's
shit.
not a 1-1 scale.
It's close enough. I don't give a
PJ
shit.
says no to 1-1 scales.
Ray,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able if you had that 1/1 scale, you wouldn't be able to bend your arm.
You don't know what I'll be able to do.
It's the Infinity
You don't know
Gauntlet.
my life.
You can do anything with it.
It's over 2 feet long.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet, Chuck.
I know it is.
The whole purpose of it is you can do anything with it.
Anything. Especially for $930, I can do any
I
fucking thing.
better be able to do anything with it.
More like a grand with shipping.
Nick and Vince's podcast says, oh, wait a second, guys. All right.
Hey, we're so awesome. We have other podcasts asking
Writing
us
in
for
for us.
answers. So
What's the best car chase in a film?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
I know the French Connection one
I mean,
is kind
that's
of a classic, but I'll have to go Blues Brothers.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
It's a blast from the past, but I'm gonna have to go with that one. That Blues Brothers one is classic. Had a great soundtrack through it.
Uh-huh.
Great set pieces. Yeah, I can't top it.
I don't know about car chase scenes, but I know I think this is a very underrated car movie, The Vanishing Point. Anyone watch that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 71, so it's kind of a little bit after like Bullet and stuff like that. It's like a cheap man's Bullet ripoff kind of thing, but it was a really, really, really good one. What you got, Chuck?
I think car chasing.
Car chase scenes.
I mean, there's the Italian Job that hasn't been mentioned.
Smokey and the Bandit.
You know, Smokey and the
damn.
Bandit, that's a whole car chase movie.
That
I've
is.
never seen Smokey
Really?
and the Bandit.
Oh my
I think
God.
I own them.
You lived in Swanee County. I mean, is it
And?
required?
I live the same distance from Live Oak to Lake
Shit.
City.
Also, like Mad Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mad
Mad
Max.
Incredible car chase
that be-
films.
Yeah.
They're in a car. They're being chased.
There
Yeah.
goes my vote.
Mad
All
Max.
All right, let's see. Will Bloodworth ask if you could make any video game, what would it be? I think we need a reboot of Pac-Man, honestly. I'm just kidding. I would really like to have another like Marvel Legends
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was
Those were always
great.
a blast.
They were really
Yeah,
fun.
they were fun. I'd like it to be a 4-player online co-op now.
Yes.
Yep.
Since you can pull it off.
At least a 4-player online co-op. But knowing the X-Men, it would be a 10-player online co-op.
I would personally like a Star Trek holodeck type video game. Probably something similar to the Oasis from Ready Player One.
Well, that's just trumped everything.
Didn't they make something like that for the PlayStation VR?
They did.
They made a Star Trek VR.
Yeah. It's like you're all on the Enterprise,
and everybody's supposed to play a different role. Like somebody's an engineer, somebody's a captain.
Me and our friend Jack Gurna, we played. There's a computer game that's like that. That's exactly what you're doing. You everyone has their different. Someone's a captain. Yeah, your pilot, your engines, and it's actually a fucking blast.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
it's fun. So I could definitely see doing it.
I just can't picture us doing $600 a piece to all do that.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. Well, this was just you download it on your computer and play it. And
yeah, I could see that. I couldn't see all of us doing.
I think it was called Artemis.
One. Yeah,
Artemis. Is what
They have a board game that's the same kind of thing where you're like, I think it's called Deck Commander or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, what kind of video game would you make?
I'd have to go back to the original AKI Acmus Ace WWE WCW games. I have not played a wrestling game current that.
Which ones were those, Chuck?
WCW, NWO, World Tour, Revenge, and then WrestleMania 2000.
Okay, the ones they did for the 64.
Yes.
Yeah, those were great.
Those were so good. And
those were so much fun.
They tried getting the control. I think it was AKI. They did one more, I believe. I think it was on the GameCube, and it was the Day of Reckoning series, and it was almost similar, but not quite. It didn't feel the same.
Yeah, I think they went to the PlayStation as well and tried to do it on
the SmackDown Shut Your Mouth series, and it's like
no,
those were fun, but the controls and just the fluidity of the 64 games were just they've not been matched.
Nope, I agree.
Right on. Well, that's our mailbag.
All right,
it's been our podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one,
boners.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdswhogetlaid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks Worldwide Podcast Network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod Podcast Network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!